What's up, guys? Thanks for watching. So, here we are in the labyrinth, and what I would like to know is what the people of Stone TV, what are your favorite rules for arm wrestling? So, let me know in the comments. I'd like to know what you guys think. My favorite rules are, I would have to say, something like Arm Wars. I like Arm Wars style. I like, uh, I like the running fouls. I like that there's three fouls with running fouls, because otherwise, with the running fouls, if you pop twice, it's a loss. I've been to a tournament where I had everything. I had hand control. The guy was trying to slip. I had his fingers and my elbow. I didn't even feel it, but I went pop pop, and just like that, I lost the match. So that's why I think that third rule, that third foul, is important for the run fouls. Prevents that pop pop loss. You know. Now off that, so we go to the same match. The same match. The reason why I popped twice is this guy was intentionally trying to slip. At that point, when someone is intentionally trying to slip, there is only one person that is arm wrestling, and the other person is trying to slip. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with slipping, but I think slips have to come from arm wrestling. They can't come from slipping on purpose. For example, if someone bails and they have their hand like this and they slip this direction, that's my opinion should be an intentional slip, because you can tell the direction they're going. They aren't even going to the pin pad. They are just trying to get out of there. Now, if that individual slipped, if he pulled back and instead of going this way, he decided to slip to the pin pad, I think that's a fair slip. Because at that point, the individual that slipped made the decision that he's going to go straight to that pin pad, and if it slips, it slips. So the slip is secondary. The arm wrestling is still first. If that makes sense. So I do think slipping is a skill, but I'm not a fan of all slips go to straps, because I think it avoids a big part of the arm wrestling game, in my opinion. Now, that being said, I don't think it's going to stop me from competing, and if the rules are all slips go to straps, I don't have a problem with that. These are just my favorite rules. So now let's see. Off of the intentional slips, let's go to slipping in a losing position. So this is tricky. This is very tricky. I think most of the slips in a losing position should be a strap, unless the individual that slipped is intentionally slipping, or it's obvious that the person that had control before the slip, very close to the pin pad, maybe like an inch away, very, very close, had complete control, and the slip happened on his side, less than 1 inch, less than 1 inch above the pad, and it was obvious that there was control seconds before the slip. That should be a win in a losing position, where it's obvious that 1 inch above the pad max. I prefer less. This individual slipped and had no chance to win. Now this is where it gets tricky because there's lots of people out there that have losing positions, and then there's other people that their losing positions are their winning positions. If you look at a lot of the defensive pullers, Michael Todd, Frode Hoagland, athletes like that, a lot of people that have long matches that tend to start the match on their opponent's side of the table, and they tend to win from the losing position. So that's where it gets tricky. I think it needs to be, need to have so much control. There's no way this person could have won. And I think it needs to be obvious. I think if all the refs aren't in a complete agreement, then it will go to straps. What about the ready go? Maybe I should have started with this, but we're here now, so that's good. So what about the ready go? The ready go, I'm not really a fan of the set grip of the WAL. When the hands start with your fingers open and then it's close and go. I prefer more traditional setup, like PAL or WAF, something like that, where the people get their grips, their hands are closed, the referee lines them up in center, and they get the go. That's what I prefer. I also do prefer go. I would rather have a go than a ready go. I feel that every ref is different, but now with that ready go, every rep is different. So some refs go ready go fast, some refs go ready go. So you can learn the refs ready goes, how they say them. And that's where timing is very important. So someone with I'm a little over 3 years in arm wrestling. So my experience, I'm competing with people with much more experience than me, so their timing is a much higher level than mine. So that's why I prefer the ready go. I prefer just the go because it helps me. You have to rely more on speed and reflexes instead of timing. They're both a very good skill. It's not gonna stop me if the refs say ready go, but I just prefer setting them up, and as soon as the ref sees it, say go, live match. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, so I think I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Oh, I guess we could talk about pad size. Pad size, the elbow pad. I like the 7x7s, the traditional, but I'm also not against the bigger pads, as long as they make them bigger on all sides. So, to my understanding, the WL pads are bigger only at the back of the pad. What I would like to see, the WL is whatever they put in the back, they put in the front, and whatever they put in the side, they put in the other side. That's what I would prefer. Now, one thing I don't really like with pads is I don't like squishy pads. Just because, not because of the way it feels, but for the fact that when you get to the corner, it gets tricky to sometimes see if the guy's elbow is off, because with that squish, the pad will squish down and then roll over the pad itself. You know, so if you get it the right spot, you can squish down and kind of arm wrestle off the pad. But because of that squish, the material is bending over and it looks like you're staying on the pad. So I prefer, in tournaments, I prefer a very, very firm pad. Something where there's no give. You know what I mean? There's no squish, no give. That's what I prefer. Now, I think you do need a squishy pad for the sake of training, because if you're always pulling on that solid pad, your elbows are gonna get a little beat up. But I do like them for tournaments. You know, I think it's easier to see. It's just I think it makes it more smoother. And makes it easier to see that foul. Well, I think that's it. Thanks for watching. Like I said before, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you around.